Welcome back to You're Done.
Hi, y'all. Miss y'all.
We have missed you.
What a time it's been.
It's been like,
how many days did you say?
43 since we last posted, so it'll be 50 by the time this comes out.
Disgusting.
Yeah. One of the things we said we would do with this new season is give a little primer to what You're Done is each episode.
Yes.
So if you are joining us for the first time, You're Done is a pop culture podcast hosted by me, Brendan.
And me, Tasha.
Where we talk basically about whatever we want. So we're going to range through like TV shows, music, movies, life, themes, whatever.
Fashion, summer.
We'll clean that up. So by the next time you'll have a better one. But if any of those things interest you, stay tuned because we have lots to talk about. So we're in season
today.
Oh my God, what are we talking about today?
Cowboy Carter. Cowboy Carter.
I have it on my head. Cowboy Carter. Oh my gosh. But before we get into that, well, let's say what we were going to say.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Before we get into that, it's season 3 and the podcast is exactly 1 year old.
We have a baby.
We have a 1 year old baby.
1 year old baby.
Which is really sweet.
That's so crazy.
It is so crazy.
I remember the day we were like drinking at a brunch
all day.
We're like, we should make a podcast
at Thai Chill Bar. I'm proud of us too.
Because we did it.
We did it. Keeping something for a year is like pretty. Not a lot of people do that. So consistency is key.
Yes, and thank you for all of you that have listened, watched, whatever. For the last year.
Yeah, we're so happy to be doing this. And I feel like we get better every episode, every season.
We're like fine wine.
Yes. Yeah. And stay tuned. One day we'll do a live. We'll be so big, we'll have a live taping.
Wouldn't that
and you'll
be
get to come.
So slay?
It would be so slay.
So slay. No.
But yeah, before we get into Cowboy Carter, because we went on a perilous journey that was both amazing and exhausting.
Yeah.
We should catch up.
Yes.
So Tash, how's the last month and a half been?
Well, it's been quite busy for me.
Yeah.
Yes. Through work, I've had to go to Ottawa twice, Montreal, and of course to New York. Right?
Yeah.
New York. Right? So I'm just like trying to rack up my my border points.
VIP border points.
Yeah. And so like the people at like Billy Bishop are like,
hey, you.
Weren't you just here? And I'm like, I was. But because it's for work, I'm not doing avion.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to, be professional.
It's funny how we've switched because I was at the beginning of last season was talking about how much I'm traveling for work and now it's over to you.
Actually, it was always a part of the role, but
we
didn't think it'd be this much. But you know, she's trying to be a boss, So like, she has a good one. She has a couple things to do.
Yeah,
and so that's been fun. But I have missed doing avion because I have seen things in the airport that I'm just like, no. I'm like, no, like I need to showcase this.
People don't know how to behave.
Like, I'm going to try to like make this one not as like vulgar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, make it for the YouTube.
So in one of my travels, there was a girl and a guy that were walking in in front of me and they were arguing.
Okay.
Right? And like, I'm like here for it.
Could you hear what they're arguing about? Okay.
And they were like, I guess the guy was just saying something stupid, like, you're being stupid. And she was like, well, if you leave me, your next girlfriend's going to be 92 and she won't let you right?
In the
And she said this, like, bone dry, looked at him and said, so think about it.
How old were they?
Like in their 20s. But I was here like,
what did he like? How did he reply to that?
He stayed outside and smoked while she went inside because he must have been like, "Shit, she's right. Who's gonna let me in the Who's gonna let me in the
Is he in her or is she clearly in her
No, he's clearly in her.
Oh well, there's a ton of gay guys that'll let you do that. So
he had a twang, maybe, but like it was just like it's just wild what people will say when they're passing like public.
Oh,
so like these were just like moments I had on this trip that I was like, oh, I need to post this, but I'm like, I can't post that.
Instead, I get it as a voice note, which I'm actually like, totally pleased with.
It was so good. So like that's been my weeks. It's just traveling and listening to craziness around me.
You're not getting tired of it, right? Like you're liking it.
Like right now, I'm not tired of it because, like, listen, it took me an hour on TTC today on the boat to go from downtown to downtown.
Yeah.
When I got to Ottawa that fast. You know what I mean? So like
upsetting.
It's upsetting, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. And so I am enjoying it.
Those points are gonna pay for like a trip for free. Mine basically got me to New York. Like those points because I didn't really fly
I'm
Porter.
a rocking bitch.
Yeah,
so I love a good Aeroplan. Sponsor me, please. Thanks. Whatever.
Aeroplan, Air Miles, Porter.
I'll take all the points, right? So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
I love that.
What about
I love
you?
that. What have I been up to? I have not been having to travel the last little bit. I was traveling so much at the end of the last season.
Right at the end of the season, yeah.
And then you got to meet my mom. Yeah, good old Kim. Hey, Kim.
Kim, can I just tell you, you made like my insides like jump around from laughter. Literally.
Yeah,
my
she's
pancreas was like, yeah.
My You're Done. I don't have a You're Done thing for the last little bit, but I've gotten back into stand-up comedy. So I performed recently for P-Flag, which was really cool. It's like my first paid gig in like a year.
That's amazing.
And of course I guess I do have a You're Done for that, which was, I knew about it for like 3 weeks. I was asked to do 15 minutes, which is a long time. Normally I do like
That's
5 or 10. Yeah. And I procrastinated it until like 2 days before, which was really great for me. The problem is that once I start doing it, I literally can't stop thinking about it. And so I knew if I started doing it 3 weeks in advance, all it would be is all I thought about. It went really well. Eddie got to come and see me perform for the first time, which was cool.
Did you fill the full 15 minutes?
I sure did. And the recording of it is like 15 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay, timing.
Yeah, it was great. And it was cute. It was like for this like chapter of P-Flag, it was their first like networking event. And so they like were doing a comedy thing at a restaurant.
Cute.
I was thinking about how in comedy I performed at the like most random places. I performed in an old spaghetti factory, many a basement, somebody's living room. That was crazy that one time. Now it's been like a restaurant floor. The video is
next will be the Netflix special.
Oh my God, on Tudum. That's their like I think that's their releasing. Anyway, so that's been fun. And then Cowboy Carter was obviously a huge moment of the last month. We've been looking forward to it since, I guess only since March, but it's felt like longer.
It felt so much longer. Yeah. But it was also like, obviously we didn't want to go to
America,
States,
yeah,
right.
Trying to avoid
for
it.
Our American viewers, we just didn't want to go.
We love you, but tariffs.
But we were like tariffs, right? Yeah. Tariffs. But we said, we gotta go.
Yeah, and I think honestly, it's funny because telling people we were going, I was like, oh yeah. They're like, what are you doing coming up? I'm like, oh, I'm going to New York, but for Beyonce. And I felt like, oh,
yeah. Every single person said, understood.
Yeah, it's like your get out of jail free card, but it's like go to the Beyonce concert free card.
Like our flight was in the morning, we came back the next day midday. Like it was everyone.
It was 36 hours, like almost to the T, because we flew out at 7 a.m. Thursday morning. We landed back in Toronto at 7 p.m. the Friday, which is pretty iconic.
Love that.
Yeah, so we could just get into it now.
Let's get into it.
So, okay. So we went to New York, obviously. It was hilarious because...
Let's be specific. Well, you went to New York, but we went to New Jersey.
Yeah, we went through New York both ways.
Yeah.
So the fun story of this, so originally we had this great plan. We were going to... So the concert takes place at MetLife, which is in New Jersey. And we were like, we're going to fly to Newark Airport because it's in Newark, New Jersey. We're going to stay at a hotel
by the airport.
And we're going to go there and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, Newark Airport is demonic.
It's crazy.
So literally Porter was doing complimentary change your flight to a different airport. So instead of flying out of Billy Bishop to Newark, we flew from Pearson at 7 a.m. to LaGuardia.
Yeah.
So that started off the plan exhaustion.
Oh, yeah. The plan exhaustion. Because when we landed, and y'all keep us honest if you've heard about this.
Yeah.
We landed and we're like, okay, should we take an Uber? Should we... Like, Brendan initially said, let's take the bus. And I said, girl, girl. He's like, we can take the bus and then the train. And I was like, I don't have time. We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So we get there in the airport and there's Uber shuttle.
That was cool.
Was it Uber bus?
It
Uber
was
shuttle?
Uber shuttle.
Yeah, which was really cool.
And there was like a super discount on it. So it was like 15.
Amazing. And it took us to like Penn Station.
Yeah.
And then also Brendan right over here said, oh, like I looked it up and we can put our luggage away in lockers in Penn Station. And then we can walk around and stuff until we have to go over to New Jersey.
Yeah. Because we couldn't change our hotel. And because we had to fly in so freaking early.
Yeah.
We were like, literally had been up since 5 a.m. and we did not want to carry our luggage around.
And then it cost us $20 and a whole lot of drama.
Yeah.
Just to lock up.
Those people were hilarious.
They were. It's amazing to watch, like, not just Americans, but New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Y'all just will give, like, you're like, listen, it's this way, it's this way.
Yeah, because it was, what's the train? Amtrak. So it's like Amtrak. We're checking them in where train people would go. Train people. And so there's like 3 people there. This guy who's like very gay, slay. So slay.
Had a little Canadian tag on his like lanyard. He's like, oh, I love Toronto. And we're like, okay. Girl.
Okay, yeah. And like his supervisor, who seemed like she had had enough.
She honestly was giving me Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Like, that's where Alicia Keys worked before she got her big break.
Yeah.
She sounded just like her, could get like, yeah.
And then this other guy who had truly had enough. And so you got the like nice gay guy.
Yeah.
And then the minute they fucked up something for yours, and the minute they were like, bye. So then Eddie and I are like, okay. And then people are just going around us and we're like, what do we do? And so then the guy who hates his life has to help us.
And he's like, what do you want?
And we only checked our bags. So the thing is we learned lessons. We learned lessons because we did it there. But then on the way back, that bouncing was, and it was literally half the price.
Yeah, you can like a lot of like convenience stores
in the States.
Here too.
Here too,
like
okay.
Downtown core. Because think about it. If I'm going to open up a space in my back room that can just put luggage and make money off of all these tourists.
I don't have to do anything,
I don't have to do anything? Yeah. It's another way of making money. So it's perfect.
It's crazy to think it was 36 hours because it felt like a week. And
it's important to add on, it was raining and cold.
Yes, it was raining and cold. So then we check our stuff and then we were like, okay, we have some time before the hotel. So we decided to do the most depressing thing you can do in New York, which is go to the World Trade Center Memorial.
We did go.
We rode the subway there and we looked into the pit.
Yes.
And it was beautiful. It's
beautiful.
I think it was an interesting thing to see. I had never seen it.
Oh, you had never seen it?
No, I hadn't.
Oh, I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, it was cool to see. Then we had to get to New Jersey, and I have heard that Ubers are expensive, but they were most of our, like literally, I would say half of our expenses were just on Ubers to places.
/Lyft, yeah.
Yeah, because there wasn't an easy way to get to where we needed to go. Because it's, even though our hotel was at the airport, it's one of those like at the airport hotels.
Transit that goes there.
So we spent $100 American to get from Manhattan to New Jersey, which it works out to almost 150 Canadian dollars, which is not the worst.
Still, then you divide it by us, but it was whatever.
So then we get to the hotel.
Which
was nicer than I thought.
It was a nice hotel. And then we were like, let's have a little nappy for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, but then I'm also, okay, you guys need to hear me out, okay? When it is raining and I need to do something that's outside that I really want to do, I have a really great way. I'm basically Storm of taking away the rain. Marty, I know you're listening. Thank you for validating. Okay. And
comment below
because you know I can do it.
Because you've done it for Electric Island before.
Yes, many a times. Not just many a things.
Yeah.
And MetLife is an outdoor stadium, and we have our fits. We're gonna go in our fits.
Yeah, we'll put a picture right here.
And I was like, okay, Beyoncé, Shakira, Jesus, Little Mermaid, Poseidon.
Whoever needs to listen, get on the call.
That like take away this rain.
Yeah.
Okay? Take away the rain. So it's important I say that. We'll get back to that. So we were getting ready now.
Yeah. And so the funny part about our hotel room, so it was Eddie and I and Tash, we were all staying together, and the only rooms they have that are 2 beds are twin beds.
It wasn't a twin bed. Don't lie. It was not. That's not a twin bed. I grew up with a twin bed. That was a double.
Is that smaller or bigger?
It's bigger.
Barely.
No, but it's with
for 2 6-foot wide men.
How dramatic are you?
Eddie and I barely fit on it.
Yes, but if it was if it was a twin bed, you wouldn't both fit.
Okay, well, it was a double, which honestly doesn't feel like a lot more, but sure. Anyways, it was very petite. It was very petite for 2 big men.
Yeah, so I'm just like watching them really trying hard to hold on for dear life. And I'm like, I've got space.
Honestly, it was fine. Like, it's not a way I could sleep a long time, but it was a cute moment.
It was a cute moment.
Yeah. Anyway, so then we napped. Then Tasha,
No, I had my conversation before the nap and after.
Yeah, so let me reenact what she does. She goes up to the window and she presses herself against it.
That's
with
just
her
because
hand.
There's a window. I don't always use a
window.
Sure,
but she was pressing and she was like, no rain. No rain. And you know what?
And you know what? Did it rain during the concert? No, it rained for the first maybe 10 minutes of a 3-hour concert.
I think Give me credit. I was going to say, I think the call could have been longer. I think
it rained for 2 seconds at the beginning of the concert. It was probably 20 minutes. He's really trying to discredit me.
No. I'm not discrediting you. I'm saying that the call should have been longer so that we could get less rain. But it did work.
But you know what? I think the rain was a part of our story.
She could have gone up to the window 3 more times. They're like, no rain. No, tapping your acrylic.
What?
that we just needed no rain at all.
Fast forward, we get ready, we get dressed, and we're feeling
our fits
ourselves.
Were really cute.
Our fits were cute, and then we take an Uber or Lyft that felt like 3,000 years.
Well, on top of that, so the hotel, you need to get a ticket to go into the hotel, into the parking loop, and so there's one of those parking arms. Yeah. In front of it. So to get in, you have to hit a button. It gives you a ticket. It's free for 30 minutes. You can pick people up,
click it and get out and go back in.
So our lift is rolling up. He gets to the front where the arm is. He calls me and I'm like, you have to get a ticket. You have to get a ticket. You have to get a ticket. He's not listening. What does the man do? Tries to drive over the curb, gonna break the street arm,
America.
To just get to us. So I run out
in the rain
to get a ticket for him. Then we can't get out because the girls ahead of us are dumb.
Yeah.
Then we're driving. It felt like literally eons.
The drive was whatever. It was once we got to MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, it was hell.
So I've never been to a American football game.
Yeah, I've never been to a stadium like that before.
Which I actually would love to go to a tailgating thing because I feel like that would be a good really barbecue.
Fun. Yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Right? But everyone and their mother is trying to get in. Plus, you have to remember it's raining, so no one is walking, and it's off the highway. You can't just walk.
Yeah.
And it was such hoopla. Everyone was confused. Everyone was grumpy. Everyone was thinking. But we're still remembering that at the end of this, there will be Beyoncé.
The Queen is waiting.
Yeah, so we made it work.
Well, actually, she's not waiting. She's going to start promptly at 8, whether we get there or not.
No, but in Chicago, there was basically a tornado or hurricane warning. Right. Chairs were flying around, and she didn't start until 10:30.
Right, but she's not going to stop because we're waiting in the parking lot. Is what I mean.
No. She's going to start.
We got there with ample time, but it was we're losing time because we're just waiting in a parking lot.
Yeah.
I gave them feedback. They sent a feedback email, and I was like,
who gave a feedback email?
MetLife sent a feedback email, and I was like, you little shit.
Did you tell me that?
Yeah. I replied and did a whole thing.
Wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, we get out. We're walking through this bridge. We don't know how to get around. Thank you, Eddie, for getting us ponchos.
Yeah.
Shout out because they kept us, dry for that moment.
But it was so sad because everyone is in these beautiful outfits and everyone's covered in rain jackets and ponchos.
Everyone is dressed like that. No one came just tra-la-la.
No.
You come ready.
Yeah, even if it was raining, people were like...
It is what it
even if it was under
if
a poncho.
If I get pneumonia today, it is what it is, right? And we're going now to go through like the metal detectors, and you have to take off your cowboy hats, you have to take off your belt.
Everything.
And I'm like,
You
basically
strip
undressing.
naked, yeah.
In the cold. You have to
Yeah.
take off the poncho to do all of this. But then finally when you get in, at least it's kind of like the Rogers Center, if you guys know it, it's kind of that it's like covered until you go to the outside part.
Yeah, and the thing that I was sad about with the rain for many reasons, but like, so outside of the actual arena, like once you get through the ticketed area, there's all these like cars or like trailers that she has set up for like sacred for Sir Davis, like all this stuff. And we didn't really get to do that because it was like too fucking cold to even be bothered to like do that.
I was like,
and I was like, I'm not waiting in a line in the cold to like maybe
get a sample.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
To get a sample.
Yeah, I'll pay her.
But speaking of a drink, so we get in, and immediately when we get in, we see a line. So we're like, it's merch. That's the merch line.
Yeah.
It's known, right? So we just camp ourselves right there. And I was like, okay, guys, I'll go get some drinks at the stand that's right there.
Well, before that, you were smart and asked the people ahead of us, like.
Well, yeah, I said,
they were
is
sort
this
of
merch
talking,
line?
and they were like, "Yeah, this is the best one."
Yeah, and I was like, perfect. So we stayed.
Yeah.
And so I go over to get a drink, and I hand her my ID, and she was like, "Is this Canadian or something?" Oh. Well, yes, it is, ma'am.
And Eddie was with you, right?
No, I was by myself.
Oh, okay.
I was by myself. You and Eddie were in the line.
Did he come and join you after? Because he tried his as
maybe
well.
like right at the tail end. Maybe at the tail end.
Because it was like a double whammy. You both couldn't get drinks.
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, I need your passport. And I said, girl, I'm from another country and it's pouring rain. You think I'm bringing my passport outside? I'm trying to get back home.
Yeah.
At the end of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have a picture of it and I'm showing you my ID.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't take this. And I'm like.
Yeah. And it was really shitty because we had a conversation about bringing our passports and we're like, we don't need them. Like, why would we need them?
Plus, like, you'd be worried if something happened, whatever.
Yeah, it's just one
literally the next stand over. This gentleman over here goes over there, shows the same ID, and they give it to him. I'm like, not me older than all three of like the people that we were with.
Yeah.
Or at that time only the other two. But I'm like, okay. It's time to see Beyonce and leave.
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, and he didn't. I mean, I think there was some elements of like misogyny and racism happening here because he didn't even ask anything. He just looked at it and was like, okay, you're good.
To
be honest, we saved money by not going because the drinks themselves are almost $20 American for a can of beer.
And we had to make sure to pee it out before because I promise you I wasn't going to move. Like UTI, let it be because if the concert's on, I'm not moving. Like when we saw Renaissance the second time, we were like, people were like, oh, I have to go to the washroom. We knew the moments that you could.
Go now.
We literally said, go now. But because it was our first time, we didn't want to move.
Yeah.
And so we get down to our seats. Yes, it's still raining a bit. She said like 8:07. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. And then it was cool to see the rain behind her at the beginning, but honestly, then it stopped because of my abilities.
Yeah. Before that, we should mention that we had other friends that we were with.
Yes.
Freddie and Rocky, who we interviewed, who we'll put right here.
All right. Welcome to Cowboy Carter. How exciting. In New Jersey. Love it. Who do we have with us today?
Freddie.
And Rocky. Where are you guys visiting from?
Toronto.
Calgary.
Okay, Cowboys. Canada. What are you most excited about for tonight?
There's a specific moment in the set list that I will not reveal.
Please.
Given certain boundaries and restrictions among the people around us.
Okay.
But I'm very excited for that specific moment that I cannot
Keeping
wait.
to yourself.
That I keep it to myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, darling?
Oh, I'm here for Blue's Deja Vu dance breakdown. She's gonna kill it. She's gonna smash it.
She's gonna kill it, gonna smash it. And last question, tell me about the fits.
Well, this is giving Sasquatch Cowboy.
Yes.
It's the only thing that can fit into my luggage. And it's also giving inclement weather.
Yes, I love that. We want to be warm.
We're gonna be wet.
We're gonna be wet.
We're gonna be dripping.
Dripping.
Literally. Brackets, literal.
I love that. And?
Oh, Calgary, Berta girl always has to turn it
From
out.
the top to the bottom.
Okay? Just a little bit.
Not
too much.
Okay,
Not too much.
Yes. You look slay. Have the
Thank
best
you.
time tonight.
Look at you as well.
Yes, I'm so excited. You're done. Don't forget about us.
Anyway, so that's what they were saying about the concert. You got to see their cute outfits, which was great.
Yeah, Yes.
And we got some food. But then, yes, the main event, obviously. Oh, well, the main event also being the merch that we got. This is the merch that we got.
Yes.
I've never bought a sweater from merch, and I literally live in it.
I love this
I
sweater.
love it so
it's
much.
super warm. But now that it's hot outside, it's too hot to wear outside. But
It'll be
I
a good,
love
like,
it.
night
Yeah,
hoodie for
cute
you.
hoodie for that.
Mhm.
But the moment it started,
Yeah. So we're 100 level.
straight
Pretty
on,
in the middle,
pretty much in the
yeah.
middle, and I was obviously prepared and ready for greatness.
Yeah. So the difference between Tash and I is that I was listening to the set list before, so I knew what was coming for the most part. She does change, so like as we understand,
She has 5 different versions.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which version we saw, but I knew that even if I listened to the whole set list, I wouldn't know everything. But I like in a concert to know what's coming so that I can be prepared. Tash and Eddie were the opposite.
I don't.
So she starts with American Requiem.
Yes. Her dancers come out first in like this red, like, I don't know, cape things.
Mm-hmm.
And then the doors open and she goes, "There's a lot of talking going on." And I was like,
boom, boom. Yeah.
Let me make myself clear. Do you hear me? Do you see me?
Yeah. Your soul leaves your body at that
literally
moment.
at that moment. And it's like with the Renaissance when she came up and started singing Dangerously in Love.
Yeah.
Oh, like, you know, same thing.
And so things to like understand about the like ambiance of this. So it's like dusk. It's still raining slightly. The thing that lady does when she makes a stage, the quality of the video wall is like unbelievable.
Money is spent.
And it's so Renaissance was like a circle, and it was like a disco ball.
2 screens and a circle, and then this one.
And this was a triangle, and it's because the stage itself is a big star.
Yeah, well, it's like a guitar star.
Right. Yeah. Star, and then it has like the whatever.
Yes. You could sit anywhere,
and it
maybe
been...
not the sides, but honestly, like the tour is made to be seen well from any angle.
Yeah.
Right.
And so even like we could see her pretty well. Like she wasn't super close to us, but she was enough that we could like see her.
Oh yeah.
But then the close-ups and the video camera and the video walls
make you feel like
you were on stage with her.
You're on stage with Beyonce. Yeah. You've practiced and prepped. Yeah.
Yeah. And so American Requiem she does mostly as like a ballad. There's not a lot of dancing happening for that one, which that song you can't really do, but it's also like the most amazing song to start with.
It has just the harmony is just beautiful.
And she's like proving like I can sing. Nobody questions that, but it's like the level she's giving you in that song specifically are like right.
You
we're
know
at a
what
Beyonce
she said
show.
too? She was like, I can't do her accent, but she's like, and I know, thank y'all for being here because I know it's raining, but don't worry, I'm going to try my best to keep y'all warm.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm warm.
That was basically 20 of the 40 words she spoke to us the whole time.
Live. No.
She didn't speak a lot.
No.
She didn't talk a lot.
She gave us, I'm there to listen to the song.
Oh,
right?
She performs
42 or 43 songs.
Yeah, like, and 3 hours straight. So
3 hours straight.
I'm not asing that she needs to talk more, but it is hilarious how she like virtually does not speak.
She is an alien, but
superstar.
I wish to be at that planet. Yeah. But it's just one of the things for me is that her and her musical director are genius. Okay, the things that they do to mash up songs, the ways that they make the transitions. Because, like I was saying, that starts with American Requiem.
Yeah.
Then it goes into the national anthem, but like Jimi Hendrix version, which is all twisted and like
it's gritty, yeah.
And then it goes into Freedom.
Yeah, she doesn't even finish the anthem, which I think is really cool. Like it's very important that yeah.
And then goes into Freedom, and then it goes, "Why Don't You Love Me" song. And I was like,
yeah,
girl, we've been here for 15 minutes and I'm being educated.
Yeah, it's
because
art.
She's essentially saying that like America's got a problem.
Yeah.
We've been trying to rectify the problem. I've tried to be a voice in that and I'm still hated.
Yeah. And
what else can I do?
Yeah.
Why don't you love me? Yeah.
And I think too, like, so I saw something about like Miss Tina Knowles was saying about it too, but it's like also to go from the national anthem into freedom is about how America is like built on the backs of Black people. And so
Preach.
it's like she doesn't finish the anthem because the country actually really isn't even finished because of like reparations. And so there's layers to, you know, not having to explain it for you to be able to see, and the people that get it, like, get it.
Yeah, because I think if she just said it wouldn't be as impactful as like that, right? And even if you realize later and you don't realize in the moment, you're like, oof.
Well, even that, there's like something about, so before she gets on stage, the like test of the video wall is the American flag.
Yeah.
Which when it was Renaissance, it was a rainbow thing.
Yeah.
And so there's something about, I don't know if you felt this way, but like being a Canadian in America it feels a bit icky a little bit. And so also in that environment where it's like all American flags and stuff, but you're like, also it's it's Beyonce's America that we're in.
That you feel safer.
Yeah. It was like, because all these people wearing cowboy hats, which like generally denotes like Republicans or like conservatism.
Yeah. Or before that was like slaves and that, like, you know, started like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And but then at the flip side, it's like, okay, so you have all these people dressed as cowboys, but it's also the most diverse, Blackest like environment where you're like, oh, we're not doing that version of this. And so there was a quick aside to that. So Trixie Mattel, you know her, she went to Beyonce concert in LA. Did you see the picture that she posted?
No.
I'll put it right here, but basically it's Trixie facing the wall while it's the American flag, and Trixie's wearing those like big visor like sunglasses that you see straight guys wear. She's wearing like camouflage. She's wearing a trucker hat. If you just saw that picture and didn't know where it was or who it was that was taken, you'd think that's MAGA. But because it's like Trixie Mattel, famous drag queen, at a Beyonce concert, it's like actually the gayest picture you've ever seen. And it's sort of interesting how the imagery like means two totally different things, because underneath it, the description of the Instagram is "Get me to God's country."
Ooh.
Which is like the Beyonce is God's country. And so then you go right into what we were just talking about: American Requiem, the national anthem, freedom, why don't you love me? Like, the commentary that she's making about America is like so.
And that's not something you just sit down and just like.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, even. So, you know, where's the visuals? We'll still say it. But like the time spent.
Yeah.
On the visuals.
So they were little movies.
We watched
films. They were mini movies.
We watched multiple films.
Yeah.
And like, when you watch it, you're just like, holy crap. Like, there is so much thought.
It's unreal when you
think
about it.
Like the bar scene when like this girl tries to hit her and she like bangs their head with like a bottle. Like, it was so good. Like, it was so good.
And they're expensive. Like the quality. It's not. We've all been to concerts where they have little movie montages. Yeah. And you don't think that they obviously, because it's not going anywhere for the most part for them. So like, why are they going to spend? Beyonce was like, oh, I hired a film crew. It's MGM. Like,
and we did about 17 films.
Yeah. That you'll never see, by the way. That you will never see.
Yeah. So like the visuals was like top tier for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the set list, I just love being surprised and be like, my song, right? And many times you have to like hold my shoulders down.
We'll literally put that clip in right now.
When Daughter came on, I felt like I was starting to rise to like the heavens.
And in that, so that song is incredible. And then she's wearing this like cutting edge technology dress, which is a dress that actually has like little nanotech lights in it. So the fabric design of the dress is literally changing as she's singing. It's not a projection. It is truly, it was so cool. It was so cool.
Everything, like, listen, everyone's like, oh, but it's country. This girl made country like tassels be tasseling.
Oh, yeah.
Because the fits were fitting.
Yeah.
And so okay. Maybe for those who might have some Taylor Swift fans, we value you.
Yeah, but like, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for so much you do and what you listen to. But like, for example, when you go to a Beyonce concert, you see everybody and everything, okay? And the fits, everyone just looks so amazing. But I think that everyone feels really safe.
Yeah. It's an
right?
environment
It
of
was
like
an environment, and like she really does, and like make you feel that way. And so one of the things that she did that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't want floor seats because I'm short, but like what she does is like, Brendan say yeah,
yeah,
Tasha say yeah,
yeah,
and so she's seeing people's
like
names,
yeah.
and like Alexis say yeah, and if Beyonce told me to say yeah.
Oh,
y'all wouldn't even see me on this podcast no more because like, I'm in Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
So,
way
like,
past Mars.
way past Mars. And so like just so many people. But the thing that had me dead is when like imagine you made a meme that now Beyonce is doing on her show.
Yeah.
Right. So she like diva.
Yeah.
She ain't no diva. Right. And so she's pointing out like, she ain't no diva. And like did it to two people. And then she's like, she's such a diva. Do you see the clip that it was like, she did it to like two white girls?
And then they showed their faces.
And then she did it to like a black girl. She's like,
yeah.
I was like,
so they took it out though. They're not doing it anymore.
I know.
Which is like, too bad.
But I was goofed and gagged when I heard about that.
Well, because it's like she is pointing, but it's the cameraman choosing the person.
Yeah, because I don't think she was like pointing to that girl.
The cameraman
got a
bonus.
Got a little heat. But yeah, like the songs. Of course, you have Cowboy Carter, and there was a whole section on Renaissance.
Yeah.
But she said, "Don't you fret." Don't you fret.
I'm going to do a super medley.
Because when she did If I Were a Boy, you know I was unwell.
Yeah.
That whole medley, I don't think I was okay.
It's funny because I was having such a good time, but I think I black out a little bit because there's like parts of me that I'm like, I know I saw it, but I also was like, and maybe that's the thing. I was so in the moment, I wasn't really even remembering it, but it was so good. Videos,
and he remembered to put it on 4K, and I'm just like... and like before I let go, like singing that on the top of my lungs was just so amazing, and seeing around people, and like we talked about this, but so when you think about Beyonce, right, and of course she's a Black woman, and for myself, what like really, and I felt this in the last concert too, but like this one I truly felt it, especially because the symbolism of everything that she was showing, is that like I don't think that we all like to admit it, but I'm sure there's many Black people or people of color that even if for 20 seconds in their life thought, would it just be easier if I just wasn't this, right? Would my life be easier if I was something else?
Yeah, the system's like built against you.
Yeah, right? The system's built against. And when she was singing Cozy, she's like dark skin, black skin, beige, fluorescent beige, and like, bitch, I'm Black. When like it like reverberated of how many people screamed that. It was just a validation of like, yo, this bitch makes me feel freaking proud to be a Black woman.
Right.
And like that's what I felt the whole time. And I was just in awe because I was like, look at the excellence that you are showcasing to the world that I am a part of.
Right. And she also does a really cool job, I think, of the way she celebrates the different forms of that. Like, so during the act, I can't remember where, but she has like an Irish dancer who's Black. She has a section where it's like this whole like montage.
Contemporary dancers.
Yeah. And like, and you have the
That's
violin.
What it became. She said, this ain't theater.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like, then you have like,
Forgot about that.
And then you have
so
like,
good.
it was so good. And then you have this like Black violinist. Playing live. And you're just like, it's all this stuff where it's like, she does this really, she's so thoughtful and intentional about also putting that on stage with her.
She even had a section in the salon, like with the hair, like dryers. I'm like, I grew up in a hair salon. Right. It was just like little moments. That just make it.
Like reflect you back to you. Yeah.
And she said, don't you worry, you will see me. Because this girl was flying. That thing went fast.
It went too fast.
So like,
it was going I was
fast.
nervous. I was like, that you can't. No, I don't like that.
It was going fast. And she's like clipped in by her belt or something.
Yeah, holding on and singing. That's the thing. Like, how are you singing? Like, it'd be like if you go on a ride and you're singing.
Yeah.
You're like, what? No.
Exactly. My girl was on like a tyrant.
Yeah. Oh, and like, Mechanical Bull.
And that thing
It's
was doing what a bull does.
Yeah.
Or a mechanical bull.
Did you
right?
notice the thing where she lit the cigar and lit it on the piano
Yeah.
and then the piano lit on fire?
Yeah.
There's just so many little things like that. You're like, oh, so
And
good.
the robots understood their
The
job
robots came
this
back.
time.
Yeah.
They understood their job because in another show in LA, they're pouring the bottle of Sir Davis and poured it onto the ground.
She
And
did
then the
not
other
like
time
that.
during
Oh yeah, the
like,
Renaissance section where
they didn't find her spot and like the what are they
robot
called? Robots
frames,
weren't doing
yeah.
it, and she was like, okay, but
she
her
almost
face
got
went like
whacked.
this. Her face went,
Yeah.
what is
She's
going on?
so-
And they stayed until 6 a.m. that day.
I saw that.
She
She's
says,
so
fix
good.
it.
She's
But
so
that's what just showcases that like attention
yeah,
to
the
detail.
And I mean, all of her dancers are incredible and so
Oh.
hot. She redid the Renaissance like ballroom section where you have
Honey
people
Valencia.
voguing and stuff. Did you see the one where
In the rain? Iconique. Amari, like amazing. It's just so
Blue?
amazing.
How have we not talked
How-
about Blue?
Blue. Let me tell you, Blue. This
We
this,
were
this
so-
wait, this is for Blue and for no one else. Okay, Blue. I hope you're listening.
Right.
Blue. I'm so proud of you. Okay, because all the
He will always be
hateration,
famous.
all the hateration in this dancery was
Yeah.
coming for Baby Blue
Yeah.
in Renaissance. She just was trying to give a 1-2, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, she doesn't know how to dance." She was 10.
Yeah.
Okay, and
10,
she had
11.
never done this
like,
before
what are you
because
talking
she's
about?
13
Yeah.
now, right? And she said she could have either said, "You know what, mommy, I don't want to do this anymore." Basically, the world is coming against me
Yeah.
again because they did it as a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, "No, but I'm going to push myself even harder." And now she was a staple dancer on Cowboy Carter. We could have just called it Blue.
Blue Show. Yeah. Well, and
Oh, so
and we
proud.
felt like we were returned on something because she did not perform in Toronto
She
for
didn't.
Renaissance. So
She didn't.
the fact that we got so much.
Loved it. I was
Her
so
with
proud
a
of her.
rag wiping
Oh,
her
she
spot.
said,
You
even
know
though
that
it's gonna be
Beyonce
wet,
said
she
you're
said,
gonna try
go
that.
do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna make sure that's dry. And then she was like, pop, 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 pop.
It was
She did so good.
So good.
And then when Remy, I think Remy was like, "Yo, so we do this all the time."
I don't want to.
She's like, "We do this
It was
all the time."
cold.
It was cold. They gave her a cute jacket.
She looked pissed.
But
though.
she was like, "Girl, you do this in the rain. You do this when
was
it's
crazy.
cold."
Yeah.
But like, what I love about that is like they're growing up to see
yeah.
work ethic.
Yeah.
Work
It's
ethic.
Sort of. I can't even imagine what it would be like to
Like
be
your
Beyonce's.
mom's-
Yeah.
Yeah, that your mom is
To-
Beyonce.
Like life's pretty hard, and now you're like.
In the shadow.
I have to. It's either, and I think the thing is like you go two directions, right? You go the Blue direction, which is I'm gonna do that and better because
Yeah.
she's dancing at a level that I don't think Beyonce was dancing at that level at 13. I'm not sure. I don't know how trained Beyonce was at 13.
But like the resources.
But that's what I
that are
mean. But that's what
at
I mean.
her
I feel like,
disposal
but
at Blue's
exactly.
disposal
But
right
that's what I
now.
mean. I think Blue's like taking the thing to be like, okay, I have this opportunity to be one of the like be around all these incredible people, and I'm going to be the best trained person.
Because it's not just nepotism. She's like, I'm working my ass off.
you don't.
Like you can't just be like,
Nepotism doesn't make a dancer
but
like
it
that.
It doesn't. She
Yeah.
really showcased, and I'm like, girl. Yeah, her braids stick because
Ooh.
not one flew out. Like it was
No,
just
they were
looking so good.
And so I think you go that route, or you go, I don't want to have anything to do with the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
and I'm not. Which I wonder about Sir, because like he's not featured really in it at all.
No, other than the visuals.
Yeah, which
But, like,
I thought.
I feel like Remy must have been like, "Mommy, I really want to do
Yeah,
this,"
yeah,
and like
yeah.
they were like, "I'm good. You can just make a drink about me."
Yeah. Well, and so I think that there's a
Who knows? He might come out later though with something.
maybe he will. Maybe.
Or it doesn't have to be in the performing space, right? But like you're being brought up by Jay-Z
Yeah.
and Beyonce.
Yeah, yeah.
Your grandmother
Legends.
is Tina Knowles.
Yeah.
Like your family is Solange.
Yeah.
And like her best friend is Kelly Rowland.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
cannot go wrong. You
Yeah.
have strength
I feel a bit
in your
bad.
veins.
I feel a bit bad though because we've talked about this, like Beyonce is like quite a private person, and I sort of feel like that so there's a montage that happens of like their family vacations of the kids, and I kind of felt like that was a bit sad because it felt like she was having to do it to prove a point about something. I don't know if you felt this
I
way.
did feel that way. I feel like she doesn't, like, for example, and no tea, no shade, but like, she doesn't have a reality show showcasing all her kids. She wants to keep them, like, she wants to keep these moments to herself.
Yeah.
But when she gives us a glimpse,
Yeah.
it's
It felt very,
like, you know, like, it's for those who went there. And so I don't feel like it was forced. It was like,
no.
I want to show you that I have my life is still, my life out of this is still normal.
Right.
I try my best to maintain this level of normal for my family. And so we still have these joyous moments.
Right.
And like to showcase that humility.
Yeah.
And so, and it wasn't like played forever. It was just like showing us little glimpses of when they're babies and, you know, family vacations. And it makes us feel like, or it made me feel like,
it felt really honored that
it felt honored.
Yeah,
like I felt honored. So it didn't feel like she was pushing it. She wouldn't do it.
No. It didn't feel like, the sad part I thought is because it's like, what I think is really sad is the, like, to the flip side of you have the ability to be connected to all these people, but you're also under the scrutiny of all these people, and her kids specifically have gotten like really awful, like it's truly racism that the people say, but it's the stuff that people,
racism,
the way that people talk about her kids, I'm like, you shouldn't be able to talk about any kid anywhere like that.
Exactly.
But it's really crazy that it's beyond. I feel like people think because it's Beyonce's kids are allowed to. And there's just this stuff about like how they look and whether or not they have like some kind of developmental thing. And so part of me, when she was showing the thing, was like, my kids are actually good. Was that too? It was like, I'm honored, but also my kids are good. And like, it's in a little
I didn't
bit.
feel it that way. It felt more of just like, this is like my, like, I give you guys everything so I can still have these moments with my family.
Anyways, I just think whatever people are saying about our kids is garbage. Anytime I've heard a couple, I don't know if this happened for you, but a couple times I've been like, oh, I went to the concert, and people are like, oh, what about her daughter, Rumi? And I'm like, what? What's your problem?
Like, she's a child.
She's a 7-year-old in front. First of all, if you have
like 70,000 people,
what would you do?
What would you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And like the first time when she came on, like people are like, "Why is she smiling so much?" She's a 7-year-old.
She's a 7-year-old. Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm just like, oh my god, people feel way too much like ability to talk about certain things. And I'm like, that's not,
because people love to hide behind like Twitter fingers, you know?
Oh, but this is in person. This is the crazier part to me, is when people say that to me, and I'm like, you can actually eat shit.
Yeah.
And so the near the end, I don't know if there's more you wanted to talk about between then, but I'm thinking about like montages, because she does this really, one of the things
when
that I
she's
thought,
a giant, the 400-foot cowboy.
Do that. Yeah.
Okay, so because the store has a couple different stops, as stated on the back of my sweater.
Show the class again.
Okay, one moment. Wait, let me put the hood up.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's the Cowboy Carter Tour. You have Houston, New York, Los Angeles, London, Paris, Washington, D.C., Las Vegas. I think I got them all.
Yeah? Okay, I'll turn back around.
Yeah.
Ow. Oh, okay, I'm alive.
Fearful.
And she essentially is a 400-foot cowboy. Cowgirl, walking around each one of those places. And like, for example, like she lights a cigarette off of the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. She like flicks on the light of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
And originally in Vegas, she was gonna, she did pick up the sphere.
Yeah.
But then they sent her a cease and desist, you idiots. You know how much money you'd be getting just by her looking at you?
Yeah.
Anyways, but then there's the song that's on. It's like, I'm the biggest, I'm the largest, right? It's so freaking good. And I cannot stop listening to it. And it's just like, yo, you just like that montage, I was like obsessed.
Yeah.
But the other montage I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, my eyes were watery. I was just like, holy, I remember all of this. They do like a flicker of her faces, the same face on each side of like,
all
different generations. And
this is what I was thinking.
I was like, and it kept going and going and going. You're like, holy.
She's been in the industry for like 25, 27 years, something like that.
I've been privileged to know from the jet beginning, no. Yeah, okay. And the remix with Wyclef Jean. Yeah. Right? And so
Canadian.
She'd be a number one fan, okay?
Yeah.
And so watching those, and there's a clip of because she's in a car that's about to also go up into the sky and fly around.
She flew around twice.
Yeah, crazy. And so there's a clip of her sitting in the car, looking up, looking at those clips.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just imagine being like, I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I pushed through and I did that.
Yeah, and it's like about like the scale of her career, the scale of like the music that she's created, the like and to your
The
point,
haters,
like
the lovers.
to be in a stadium of like 70,000 people, like
Still the news being like, Beyonce can't sell tickets, stadiums are empty. I'm like, where is it empty?
no.
Like, people
She did you see that she broke records already?
Oh, yes, of course.
It's like the most amount
yes,
of money that's been made
But,
from a
like,
tour
the
in like
most-
10 days.
says the most disrespected person is the Black woman. Like what else does she have to do, right? And so it's just like the scale. And as she said in Homecoming, she said, and I'm hungry. Okay? Is that like, regardless of what you think I should be,
Yeah.
I'm going to be me and I'm going to represent what I represent. And like, I felt, this is funny for my Destiny's Child's fans, destiny fulfilled. Okay? I felt destiny fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because like I left there being like, there was nothing else she could have done. And as like, I obsessed over Renaissance, but like, I didn't know how you were going to top it.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know
the
how she was
thing.
gonna top it.
Renaissance was life changing, and so I was so excited about going to this concert because I was like, "There's just nothing of that scale. Like you can't even. It's not even worth trying to compare any other show to that." And so it was like Renaissance was that good. Like what?
How could you?
How
make
could you
this
do
better?
more? And yet
It
was better.
It was better.
And it's like what?
And so now,
How can you? What are you gonna
after,
do?
like when Act 3 comes,
like what do you mean?
I don't know. And because I think after Act 3, then it's blue.
Because the thing
I think that it'll be blue.
someone was asking me like, why is it that it's like so life changing? Like, what is it like? Despite being a fan of the music, it's to me, it's what you're talking about, but it's also just like the production level. I've never seen a concert the production level that high.
No,
The skill is that high. The mixing, like
the dancers.
It's like every single element that you could think of a performance. Take
was
it to a 10.
perfect.
It's like not, it's just like nothing. There's like elements of like different concerts I've been to where it was like the production was really cool and the music was really good, but maybe the dancing wasn't so good or whatever. Nothing is like, what could you critique really about the concert as a piece of art that she put out?
Yeah, I feel absolutely blessed to have been able to have my eyes look upon that concert. And even if my eyes were closed and I could just hear it, to hear that concert. If my ears could not work and my eyes did not work, feeling the vibration of the
it's the energy
it's the
too.
energy that was right. Like everything was perfect.
Yeah.
And if you guys get a chance to hop up a ticket of Atlanta or of Washington or Paris is sold out. But if you get London,
Good
which
luck.
is starting like basically tomorrow, so you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
Right? I thoroughly tell you to go see it.
Watch all the clips on Instagram.
I actually tried so hard to not watch clips.
If you can't go.
If you can't go, but like it's just I'm so happy that like this is the artist of our generation.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to see Michael Jackson for This Is Us or This Is Us, listen to the show for This Is It. Like we were gonna get tickets and then he passed away. And so like I personally don't feel like there's been someone as big as him than her. And the fact that I've now been able to see her 4 times and just see the progression of like artistry in real life is just, it made me feel motivated to just do whatever I do.
Yes.
Like I left, I was like, I'm good. I can, build a spaceship if I needed to.
In the words of Wendy Williams, there has never been and never will be an artist more talented, dead or alive, than Beyonce.
Okay, Wendy. She said
I
what she
think I
said.
sent you that clip. It was so, and you're just like, right.
Right.
And it's so humbling. It's so humbling to just be able to like I was saying this to Tasha earlier, like she'll live forever, hopefully, but there may be a point in time when we're old and we'll have kids and grandkids or whomever who will be like, oh my gosh, you got to be around when Beyonce's like, it's the tours like this. It's the music she puts out, but it's like tours like this where you get to be in the presence of it that you're like, Yeah. There's really nothing like it.
She was born to do this.
Yeah.
She was born to do this. And both times, one of my favorite moments is when the show is done.
Oh, it's
we just like
everyone's like,
like you just don't even know how to concept life for a quick moment.
Yeah.
Because forget everything else in those 3 hours. Like you are
in it.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Locked
Tunnel
in.
vision.
Tunnel vision. So at the end, you're just like, I don't even know. And then at the end, it took us an hour and 45 minutes to get an Uber to leave.
Yeah,
so,
it was the sandwiching of getting there and leaving was pretty horrendous. But I was like, there was no point where I was like, God, I was like, I wish we had made maybe different decisions about where we were staying or blah, 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 blah. But like, no. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So that's our rant.
Oh my God, it was so good. Yeah.
It was so good.
And then the rest of New York was good. Then we had basically a half a day. We went to the Met. We got to see Superfine.
Yeah,
black tailoring at the Met, which was really cool.
Really cool. Yeah.
And also I think kind of cool to see after a Beyonce concert.
Yeah.
It was
like tied in a thread.
About like dandyism and stuff. Yeah, so that was cool. And then we flew back. We were literally back by 7 p.m.
And I said
Friday. Good night.
But
then we had a whole weekend, which was really smart, I think, on our behalf.
Yeah, then good night.
Oh my God. So season 3 has started.
It has started. And we have so much ready and excited to talk about.
We'll be doing, doesn't count as our Beyonce episode because we'll be doing, I think, Cowboy Carter.
Did we decide?
I think we did.
We may not have, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll be doing a Beyonce album episode as we always do, going track by track. I think it would be good to do Cowboy Carter because we could talk about it with the whatever. You can see we're very organized. But we have lots of fun topics going on. We have some new stuff coming. So stay tuned for us and guests. And
yes. And season 3. Oh my gosh. Thank you again so much. And we're excited for the rest of the season. So we hope you are as well.
Remember to follow us along on social media. You're Done the Pod.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.